Welcome back to Flotsam. So, take a look at the kill count. And now, in about 4 minutes, don't take a look at the kill count until then. Until 4 minutes in. So we start off with an archvile jump onto the center platform. It's easy to get rocketed off here. Press the center switch. And this actually saves like 20 minutes off the map, I swear. It basically releases another half of the enemies in the map, pressing that switch. Now, rush for this archvile horde. Be sure to kill every single one, or else they'll pester us later. Push through some more enemies. Push through the imps and pinkies. But stop after a while and turn back, because there is a huge wall of chain gunners to the right, and we cannot push through them without just getting absolutely obliterated. So we want to make them infight for just a little bit. They die out super quickly, so eventually you can just go through. Only takes a few seconds. Next, another huge group of archviles, but for this one you can actually pre-fire a lot more and kill them without an invuln. And then just pray. So there's this huge wall of cybers here that only appears sometimes. I don't know. Yeah, just pray basically if that happens to you. Also, be sure to collect megas along the way. There are so many megaspheres in this map. Basically, like 69 of the 72 items, nice, are megaspheres, I would say. And now, we're going around the map. We're hitting 2 switches, each on opposite sides of the map. This is the second one. I forgot to mention that earlier. And now, you just want to book it, because pressing those 2 switches releases a huge closet of archviles on the south side of the map, and 2 closets full of cyber demons on the north side of the map, which we're on right now. And they can pretty easily block you off if you're a bit slow, if you have to push through some enemies. Next, grab the invuln right there, and head to the south side of the map, because we're going to be dealing with that huge group of archviles. Look at this. And here's where we're going to be camping for basically the next minute. Look at this. Just sit in the corner, spam BFG, and let yourself get zapped to oblivion. Eventually, I grabbed that second invuln really early, because it is super easy to just get stuck. You could just get stuck in a zapping loop, basically, and you'll just be stuck to the ceiling, and that invuln will run out. If you just let that invuln run out, you're just gonna die. So I grab it a little early just to be safe, but after you grab that second invuln, then you can actually let this one just about expire, and then grab the third one. And with this third one, we're not actually gonna focus on the archviles. By the way, sitting there, your BFG doesn't really actually do much against those archviles. Just letting them infight, but letting other enemies' projectiles hit them, that's what really helps. But with this third invuln, I'm actually going to target cyber demons instead of archviles, because A, this really helps with the cleanup, and B, they are a massive nuisance later into the map. And I'm also just going to hurt this huge building of archviles in the meantime. Almost got zapped when my invuln expired. But now it is cleanup time, and it is just about 4 minutes into the demo. I now give you permission to look at the kill count again, and we are nearly at 5,000 kills. Yeah, infighting is rampant. And for the next few minutes, it's just going to be circling around the map, cleaning up everything that didn't die. Your main focuses in this cleanup are the cyber demons, just because they can pretty easily sneak up on you, and it's really easy to get insta-jibbed by them, and the buildings full of archviles. I don't actually see the big speed runs, the really fast runs, target these big buildings of archviles. I think if you just stay on the outside, if you are pretty passive around them, you really shouldn't have a worry. They should just kill each other, basically. There's a few revenants there. They'll just kill each other with their own splash damage. but I do not trust them whatsoever, so I target them anyways. But yeah, you also want to be targeting those cyber demons. There are teleporters there are teleport lines on the very inside of the map around that center switch that teleport all the enemies back to the outside of the map on these Icon of Sin platforms. I'll show you one in a minute. Right there. Just went right past it. So yeah, enemies that travel towards the center will teleport back to the outside of the map, so you can't just circle strafe and win. Enemies will it's still circle strafe to win, but enemies will just constantly be teleporting to the outsides. Another thing you want to be careful of are the cages of Archviles. I'll show them off in a minute here, I think. Just a few seconds. There's cages of Archviles on every side. Sort of on the inside of the arena. You just want to stay near the outside of the arena, basically, this entire time while cleaning up. Right there. That's one of the cages of Archviles. You don't really want to get close to them, just stay on the outside, and they won't bother you. That Cyberman teleported in and got insta-killed. Oh, it gets pretty close right here. Down to 62. Again, so many Megaspheres in this map. Only way you can really die is through getting insta-jibbed by cybers. Once all these cybers and buildings of Archviles are dead, though, that's when you can start focusing on the buildings full of Revenants and just other snipers that usually won't die to infighting. By the way, since enemies from the center teleport towards the outside, it's pretty easy for cyber demons to just get in your face like that if you're not paying attention, so definitely watch your step. Or just they can sneak up behind you and you don't hear them teleport in like that one. Also, I think it's pretty obvious right now, but there are basically infinite cells in this map. Around those buildings, I think each of those cell packs are 200, so that is just an absurd amount of cells. You will never run out, basically. Archvile teleported down on the ground, focused him first. Now we can start focusing on enemies on the inner corners here. They usually don't die to infighting, so gotta kill them myself. That was really close, that Cyber Demon rocket. Came from all the way across the map. Another corner here. There's different enemies in each one. The previous one had Hell Knights, this one has Manx. And of course you still want to be on the lookout for ninja cyber demons. There's also these pillars of revenants every now and then that don't die to infighting. They're pretty annoying because that just means rockets will be chasing you. Traveling you. I cannot speak for the life of me. I'm so sorry. Rockets will be missiles will be chasing you. Jesus. For a good portion of the map. This corner has revenants, and basically none of them died to infighting, which is awesome. Just a few more stray enemies on the ground. Then we can start focusing on just one, only one of them. One of the Archvile cages. And what I do for these Archvile cages, I think I kill a few more enemies on the ground. Oh, and because there were a bunch of pain elementals in this map, there's going to be lost souls everywhere as well. Some of the pain elementals actually like to get stuck on the inside and then start infighting with their lost souls. So they just spam them infinitely, and then those lost souls take the teleport lines in the center. So yeah, you'll just have infinite lost souls teleporting on the outside, basically. Super annoying, but whatever. It's lost souls. They just do a minor amount of chip damage, and again, there you have basically infinite megaspheres. For these archviles here, I actually use rockets. I think it's just easier to dodge them using rockets, and I think the splash damage might just be a little bit more efficient than stacking tracers. And these are the center archviles from the very start of the map when we hit that center switch. Just want to point that out. And yeah, Lost Souls still teleporting out. There are actually a few more floor enemies still running around. You could hear Arachnotrons earlier. They took the teleport lines in the center. And this imp. And yep, there's one of the pain elementals I was talking about. He probably got stuck, was infighting with Lost Souls, and then just kept spawning them. Very annoying. If you run out of rockets, there are a bunch on the outside of the map and some of the huge closets. Like that one was where the chain gunners emerged from. One more corner of archviles. Yeah, I apologize that the end of this cleanup is pretty boring. And now, it's time to focus on the other 3 cages of archviles. These guys I actually do stack tracers for, though you can definitely use rockets if you want to. Arachnotron behind me. I wanted to keep stacking tracers, so I focused on those archviles and then killed that Arachnotron. One more cage of archviles here, defended by one measly lost soul. And by this point, I think all of the ground enemies are dead, and now basically everything is dead except for the final few enemies. And to open up the exit, you have to hit 2 switches, 3 switches actually, sorry. One on the south side of the map where a bunch of the archviles came from, the huge horde that we were fighting earlier. And then 2 switches, you have to hit the right one first. On the opposite side, where all the cyber demons came from. And then head over to the east side of the map to face your final few enemies. A bunch of zombie men, hardest enemies in the game. And that's it. Got lead time as well, hell yeah. So, that was Nursery. Obviously, it's an homage to Hell Revealed 2, Map 32, Playground. And I gotta say, this map, if you do it normally, it is just circle strafe to win, and it is ridiculously boring. So, yeah, I decided to do the speedrun route, although I didn't really focus on time too much. I believe the record is like 11 minutes 10 seconds? Or somewhere around there. It's by Dan, who is an absolute god. Go check him out. But yeah, I didn't really focus on time too much, but I still managed to go pretty fast using the speedrun route. If you decide to do the normal route, you will have to do basically the exact same things you do in Hell Revealed 2 Map 32. You have to go to each of the 8 buildings, press all 8 switches, then the center opens up with that invuln and the center switch. Then you have to kill everything that spawns from the center switch, and then you have to deal with the archvile closets and the cyberdemon closets, and then obviously you end the map. But that takes so much longer. That is so much more effort than it's worth. I think the normal route, I've only seen one max that does the normal route. It was by MMJP. Definitely go check him out. He maxed the entirety of Flotsam on a controller, which is insanity. I struggle to wrap my head around how he's so good using a controller. He is a god. But yeah, go check him out. He is, I believe, the only max out there that does this map the normal way, and it takes 40 minutes, as opposed to the speedrun route, which takes 13 minutes and 37 seconds. Again, very nice. But yeah, I think I'm done complaining about the normal the normal route. It's very boring compared to this. But yeah, this map is insanely fun if you use the speedrun route. I think I'm going to leave it there. I've been talking for way too long. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.